All right, so we have Sarah Copeland here. So Sarah and Greg are a husband and wife team, and they have joined our team from another IMO, and they are just having tremendous success. And Sarah's just crushing it, and Greg is crushing it on the back end. And they've had some struggles in the past, as have we. And I honestly find that people that get into this business that have been through something and been through some struggles and been through the fire, it seems like those people have more fight in them and more optimism in them, and they succeed. You know, people that have just overcome a lot of things in life just have this no quit mentality. And Sarah and Greg have the same story. You know, they've been through a lot, and so Sarah, I kind of just wanted you to share, first of all, just kind of a background where you came from. You don't have to share the IMO or anything like that. Just kind of share what you were going through, where you were at, and kind of the difference from then to now.
Yeah. Well, we started about 3 years ago. My husband had gotten a license actually about 5 years ago, and he got about three phone calls and, talking to us about doing insurance. And so, it was just out of the blue. So we just thought, okay, we'll give it a try. And so Greg started, and then I helped him, and then I got going. Um, and I am grateful for our struggles because I think we appreciate it more because it was a struggle to get going. We've done like a lot of the old school ways, like we've done door knocking, we've done like dialing aged leads, we've done final expense, and some of that stuff can really become a grind. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to like hours and hours of dialing and you know um and people, oh, I didn't fill that out. So when we learned that there was a better way in a system, with y'all's team, um we could see that that was a good thing. And we just could never get our heads above water with the other way because there's not enough hours in the day to dial that long and enough energy. And we have young kids, and they have sports, and we have activities we have to do. And I also, ran out in the field and went to people's homes. And so I'd have to sometimes drive a couple of hours to do these appointments. And so, um, really, this has made such a difference for our family, as far as time with our kids and financially, just so much, we make so much more money over here. And so I really feel like your system is a way of so efficiently finding the people who want our help and can afford our help. And it's a really beautiful system. I love that it's plug and play. So, people like Greg and I could come in and just follow the guidance, follow the script, follow use the lead, the way that we generate leads. And we've gotten our family time back. We have weekends back. It's just changed everything for our family.
We've tried to make it as simple as possible. So we've spent probably the last 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years, I'm not exactly sure, but just really working on this system and like getting the cost down and being able to bring agents in to where you don't have to hire a marketer, and pay them thousands of dollars a month to like, take care of your lead gen for you and your CRM and stuff. So we found some really good partners to be able to get the cost down as low as possible because, I mean, a lot of agents are struggling and they want to make a change, but they kind of don't know where that change is at or how to do it, with minimum amount of money. So we've kind of opened that up to be able to do that by just always optimizing, always, looking for a better way, looking for a cheaper way without sacrificing quality. But Sarah has an awesome story too. Kind of share about your guys' health setbacks, like what your daughter's going through, and then also your twins. Yeah, I think one time you told me you had was it a stroke while you were pregnant or
I got Bell's palsy while I was pregnant
Bell's?
with him. And so like I do have a little bit of paralysis on half of my face. It's healed quite a bit, but It's a small price to pay for a good set of twins. So,
But you
but
had a lot of health issues, right, while you had the twins, and
oh yeah, I almost died having them. I had preeclampsia really bad, and I was pretty sick. And then, we were only planning to have one baby, so it was a little bit. We had to, I was a stay-at-home mom then because who could afford daycare when you have two, young infants? And so I actually never saw myself having a career. I never thought that I could do that. And then we moved out to Texas after my husband's job was outsourced overseas. He'd been at a company for 15 years. And we moved to Texas, and our little girl at the age of 2 was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and she almost died in my arms because it was misdiagnosed for like 3 weeks. And so after that, I thought, well, there's no way I can ever work. Because when someone's like a 2-year-old diabetic, that's not someone you want to like just easily put into a daycare. And daycares aren't really that fond of taking, you know, children with high medical needs like that. And so, we really didn't know. Like we had to get over the employee mindset of my husband finding a good job, and it's just not like that anymore. And especially if you're a little bit older, they don't really want you. There's a lot of age discrimination. And so,
yeah, my
um,
stepdad's in his 60s and he's having a hard time getting a job anywhere of any kind of decent pay.
yeah, yeah, that's what we encountered. And so, we went through a lot of real hardship, and then this opportunity, came to us. And we learned, out in the field, Greg and I, Greg learned and then taught me. And then um, we used to each door knock, and we'd always have to like split up our time though, because one of us would always have to take care of our child that has diabetes. So we can never both be out in the field. And so that's like the really cool thing about this industry, um, is that now we can work from home. And so it's perfect because if ever there's a problem at the school, one of us can run to the school and help, if our daughter needs help with her pump or something like that. And that's something I'm really grateful that you guys helped us, was getting, really good at telesales, because that was a struggle at our practice company. We didn't really have anybody coaching
So it's
us.
probably created a lot of freedom for you too as well,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah, because when you're out like 2.5 hours out, and you're running appointments all day, like you can't just run back for a game or whatever. Like you book up a couple days and run those appointments. And so this has just created like time freedom because we can schedule our time. Our twins are playing varsity sports, and so we can go to their games. We can take our daughter to gymnastics. We don't have to, we used to always have to work Saturdays, and we just don't have to work weekends anymore, only if we choose to.
See, that's where I am kind of during volleyball season, because both kids play club ball and practice typically starts at 6 with the younger one. The later one's probably like 8. So I pick them up from school at 3 and make sure that they're fed and things like that. We start getting ready for practice and we leave about 5. So once I pick them up from school, I'm out of commission. So I tell people like I get to the office and I do everything I got to do between like 8 and 3. And they're like, "Wait, what?" They're like, "You write the amount of business that you guys write and you're there from 9 to 3 working?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"I
Yeah.
am, but yeah, my wife might stay another hour or two to finish some things up, but it's just not like it used to be. I could literally, when I was running Final Expense, I would book an appointment in Oklahoma City, and I'm 2.5 hours from Oklahoma City. So on Monday mornings, that was my first stop, was Oklahoma City, and then I'd work my way to, Missouri or Arkansas. So I would book my appointment for typically 8 or 8:30 a.m. So I would get up at 4 and get ready and leave to be in Oklahoma City by 8.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wouldn't be back at the hotel till 9 or 10 o'clock at night because
Oh,
I
yeah.
was trying to figure out how to, how am I going to make a profit today? People are no showing me, go to people's houses, they're not there. So I would stroll back through like later in the evening when I got done. I would go back through these neighborhoods and see if people were home. And if they were home, of course, I was going to knock. So
Mhm.
if I got into the home, I was going to do a presentation. And I'm telling you, man, it was sometimes 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And I'm in a home and my wife's calling me. She's like, "How come you haven't called me yet?" I'm like, I'm still out." She's like, "We only had appointments till 6." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm still trying to follow up with the ones that no-showed me. I'm doing everything I can to make it work." So you kind of understand that grind and
Oh
you
yeah.
know, having dial days and just dialing hundreds and hundreds of dials and hundreds of leads on dial day, just to get a few appointments.
Mhm.
And I myself, I mean, I could literally get on dial day and me and Emily could team up and both of us still could not, even off of fresh leads, we still could not book up 2 full days worth of appointments.
Mm.
I mean, we spend all day dialing and it would be maybe 8 or 10 appointments for the next 2 days. And then while I'm on the road, she would continue to call and just try to fill in the gaps as she could. But man, it was a grind, and it's just a quick burnout, especially. I mean, I think it was a little easier for me because I was used to working out of town. I worked in the oil field. I was used to being gone. I think if I hadn't have been used to that, I wouldn't have stuck it out near as long. I probably would have just gave up and quit. But kind of tell us, Sarah, from where you were, dialing and running and just grinding, kind of the transition that you're into now with our system and how your dial days are and how your appointments are set up and kind of give us some insight on that.
Yeah, I definitely remember that because we Mondays were a grind, and I think we used to use a application or whatever. Um, and I remember dialing one day I had 805 dials in one day, and we
Sheesh.
still same thing. We couldn't book up enough appointments. Like I would dial and then I'd run on Tuesday and Greg would dial for me on Tuesday while I was out in the field. And like we could never book up. I don't know how people book up two um full days of appointments. And yeah, we were spending way more on leads and buying leads that were more expensive, and then they were not even near the quality of lead we get now or intent or anything. So I love that part of it because it just felt like we were going backwards because we were spending so much on leads and getting nowhere. And so that's one thing I'm really grateful for is we're working with people that want us to call them. They're I can count on one hand like people who didn't remember filling out our request for info with your system. It's refreshing to have people like remember and answer their phone and want to have us help them, because I want to work with people that want my help. Like I don't want to
Yeah,
spend. That's what the other way was like. You're just grinding, like just trying to sift through all these people. Where I feel like this system that you and Emily have designed, it's so efficient at finding people that want our help, and that can afford to get a policy and are good. A lot of them are in pretty good health, being drivers. So I've witnessed you do the kind of sales you do in the time you do it, like, and still have a life and still have kids, still be a volleyball dad. Like it really
yeah,
works.
yeah. It's really been a change, and it'll spoil you, if especially if you came from a grind like we have.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know, if you're watching this, if you don't follow my social media or Sarah's social media, we do specialize in the trucking industry. So we only market to truck drivers. So what's awesome is you never know where the driver's going to be. They don't know where they're going to be. They book an appointment just hoping that they're going to be free. But a lot of times we call them and, they're loading or they're unloading
Yeah.
or they're out of the truck, their truck's broke down or, they're doing something. So there is some follow up, you have to call them back. But what's really cool about these people is they're genuinely interested in getting coverage because when a driver's in a bad spot, if he's in the mountains or he's in the middle of nowhere, they'll warn you like, "Hey, my phone don't get a good signal, so I may lose you. If I lose you, I'll call you back." That was unheard of in Final Expense. Like, if they
Oh,
lost you, it's because they hung up on you. And
yeah.
these like I had a driver yesterday, I lost him, and within 5 minutes, he's already calling the office again. He's like, "Hey, sorry. No, I told you I was in a bad spot." And then we lost him again. Couldn't hear him. And then about 10 minutes later, he calls back and he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry. Let's try this in the morning." And so he called us back twice and apologized that his phone disconnected due to his bad service. So just a completely different type of people. And it's just something that if you haven't dealt with leads like that, something that you're not used to. I mean, Ronnie, Ronnie's newer to our agency, our team, and Rod says the same thing as well. They're like, I have never called leads that want to talk to you. I mean, I've actually called leads before and called them late because I'm behind because I'm selling, and I call them an hour or two later, and they're like, "Oh, no, 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 we're supposed to have an appointment at 12." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, not a problem. We can reschedule for tomorrow, or do you still have a few minutes? It'll only take 5 or 10 minutes." And a lot of times I can reel them back in right there, but sometimes we got to reschedule. But some people are really adamant about their appointments, and if you don't call them on time, then they want to reschedule. But I know you and Greg, just the stories that you tell me has just been life changing for you guys. It's just because you weren't making a profit, before. It's just the money you were spending on leads to, compared to the apps you were writing, it just wasn't any meat left on the bone, for life. So just kind of tell us if you don't mind, like the things that you've just been able to do lately and the things that you're looking forward to just because you're actually making a profit in this business.
Oh, yeah. Well, when you like we've walked through some really rough times, like I'm sure you can relate, but like when his job was outsourced and like there's times we had like $2 for like 3 weeks. Like that's the kind of like, financial struggle we walked through. And so and then doing the life insurance, and then it's like we can never get our head above water. So coming here, it's like I'm I'm grateful for everything because like when you can pay for your children to have braces that they need, and you can pay for their gymnastics class, and you don't have to tell your little girl no when it's her birthday. You get to have a party at the trampoline park and invite the friends, like, and you don't have to worry about it because you can pay for it. Like I know like maybe that's easy for other people, but like we went through times where we could never have said yes to that birthday party. And I'm just telling you, as a mother, like it just that like heals my heart. And so this this business, being on this team, has like changed our life. I mean, there was a time we had like 46 cents in our account, like trying to keep the insurance business going, and grinding with the other way. And we just now we don't have to live like that anymore. And it I could get used to this.
That's probably my favorite part, just because, when I got into this business, I just wanted to make a difference. I want to make a difference in my clients' lives, other people's lives, my life. So just to know that the time and effort that we've spent into creating this system, with the marketing and the truck drivers and the CRM workflows and just all the components that go into getting that lead on the phone. I mean, I can't I can't put a price on it just because I've seen what it can do to people's lives. I can see the freedom that they get. People, instead of, being in the field working 14, 15, 18 hours a day, to, now you have a schedule. You don't have to work weekends and Sundays just hoping to get that one extra sale to get you through to the next week. You literally can work Monday through Friday. You can sit at a desk and you can make, I say, all the money you want. As long as you work and you spend enough money, you can write as many policies until you just get burned out.
Oh,
I mean, we
there's an
literally,
abundance of leads.
yeah, we literally bumped our ad spend up to $300 for a little over a week. And my wife's like, you're gonna have to turn this thing back down. I can't operate like this. There's only one of me. And so we kind of found our threshold, right around 200 to 250, and 250 is even probably pushing it a little bit, but 300 was definitely overboard. But we had a heck of a week in premium the next week. So it's one of those things, like once you get it dialed in and you understand that the income is there and it's not, you know, a lot of it's getting charged back or a lot of it is a guaranteed issue. So you're only getting a little portion of it anyway. It seemed like in Final Expense there were so many ways that you were just getting robbed of your commission. So you weren't ever get like you could say you submitted 5,000 for the week, but really it was like 1,200. And then you got to take that 1,200 and somehow buy leads with that 1,200 and
Mhm.
pay your bills and your car payment. Like
And
it
gas,
was,
you're driving
it
all
was
over.
tough. Yeah, it
Waking up
was
on a
tough.
Monday morning and having your people that book themselves into your calendar, that's amazing. When you have people they booked, they want to talk to you, they want your help, and that's just so efficient. I love that. I love Monday mornings because I try to start off the week strong, and somebody always books that early time. I like having that early time open on Monday because I want to get going. I don't want to be behind. I want to be ahead of the game. And that's what happens is like we just like, try to knock it out of the park right on Monday. And that's what's been happening.
Yeah, no, you do very well on Mondays and Tuesdays. But yeah, that's another component there, just having people to book on your calendar.
Mm,
Because I mean, you don't have to work weekends. You can, I mean, if you'll grind all week and just put in the work all week, then you can enjoy your weekends. You can, enjoy trips. It doesn't hurt so bad if you take a week vacation. Used to, there was no taking a week vacation. If I spent 3 days at a conference, like all I'm thinking about is I'm losing money by being here. And that's all I thought about was I have to write policies every day. And that
yeah.
mentality has gone, so having people, like I said, I could only get about 10 appointments booked, in one dial day to run the next 2 days. Now I can enjoy my weekend and come in Monday to 10 appointments that are pre-booked.
Yeah,
So
it's legitimately.
definitely a huge plus there. So um
And we're not like drowning. The thing is like, we're not like drowning in chargebacks either. Like that was a real struggle in the like, working in other, niches of industry or of insurance, was like there was so much stress around the chargebacks because if you didn't have enough leads, you didn't make enough sales, you didn't make enough dials, like that stuff started like, really raining down on you.
you're
And
just making just enough money to cover up your chargeback.
yeah, you were like not getting getting ahead. And so that's what I really like about this is, these are people with like high intent leads, and they make a decent income. They want a good policy, and they're invested in the policy, so I think they tend to hang on a lot better.
Yeah, and then also, we do write IULs, so I think that's another component is the cash value. When people get in a bind, instead of canceling, you can pull a little bit of money out of their cash account and pay the premium for them. And that way they don't have to stress and worry about losing their coverage. And, you know, it just makes it easier all the way around on everybody to have a package like that because it's easier on us because we know we can help them out in a time of need, whether we pull money out of the cash value or, the carriers are very lenient. If somebody plans to make their first payment on a certain day and they need some help because they don't have the money, carriers will let you push it back a few days. They're not just, beat people over the head for money. So yeah, completely different. I mean, from what I was doing 3.5, 4 years ago, completely different ball game. I mean, it's almost like a whole new business, a whole new outlook on life, completely different goals. And I mean, it's been amazing. So, Sarah, I'm just glad to have you guys on board. I mean, you and Greg are just amazing. I mean, what I like about you is your positivity. Like you have to be the most positive person that I've ever met. And you're
Oh,
just so grateful. Like you're grateful for everything because you get people that call and nag you about certain things, throughout the day, whether it be contracting or leads or whatever, or I'm not getting paid by this carrier. What did you guys do to get, and like Sarah's like, man, I'm just glad to be here. I'm glad it's Monday morning and I'm about to help as many people as I can. And it's just like it's a sigh of relief that that you have such a positive attitude. And because a lot of people, this mind is it's or not this mind, but this job is mental,
oh,
extremely mental. So it's very easy to get that positivity turned around and get your head in the dumps.
oh, yeah.
And then it's boo me and boo hoo. And so I used to be that person, especially in the field. I'd have to reach out to my upline because I was ready to quit. I'm like, dude, I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
Like I
yeah.
suck, you suck, we all suck. Like I hate this place. And
Oh, yeah. No,
and
I get
I've had those talks with agents too. They're just like, dude, I'm frustrated. Like, help me out here. And talking people off the ledge. But
it.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, and I feel like we've been recruiting people and bringing people onto the team, and we're always looking for good people. And it's such a great feeling to like know that you can bring somebody to a system, and if they're willing to work hard and follow the system, they're gonna win. And I've always felt in the back of my mind like the other way, just I couldn't ever like know if they're gonna win because sure there's a few people that overcome, but like most people just cannot overcome those odds and that struggle. And most people don't have that kind of time too to grind. So I love that I have a place where I can bring good people. And I love people. I love helping clients and I love helping agents. I love, if people need a pep talk, I'm like, give me a call. I'm here to help encourage you too. So I'm excited that we can bring someone to a winning team, something that is legit.
yeah, and I'm the same way. I think that's probably why we mesh so well because I help anybody. Like I don't care. I mean, I have this, I shouldn't even say this, but I have this thing saved on my phone. It's a picture, and I almost posted it on Facebook and I didn't. And every now and then when I'm scrolling through my photos, I see it and I'm like, But the thing says, I forgave people that I should have beat up. And I'm too scared to post it on Facebook because some people might take it the wrong way or family might get their feelings hurt or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think when you have a heart, like
Yeah.
a lot of people do, I mean, you're like me, you just want everybody to help. You want to help everybody, you want everybody to win, you want everybody to succeed. And when you go at it from that angle, I mean, some people are just in it for the money and that's it. It's all about comp, it's all about how much can I make. I mean, nine
Yeah.
times out of 10, those people aren't going to make it very far because
Oh yeah.
they're in it for themselves. But
Oh yeah. Well, we got to see people with eyes of love, right?
that's right.
But yeah, and
So,
I feel like people can win over here, and it's about doing the best for the client, doing the best for our agents on our team, and I think that when you have that attitude of like, I'm going to do what's best for my clients, I'm going to put their need first. Um, you don't have commission breath. And I think that you draw people to you. You draw good people to you because that's the kind of agents I want to draw are people that have a heart for other people and want to serve other people and do a good job. And that's the people that I'm drawing to our team. And I just think there's something about that. When you do right by people and you care about people, you don't have to be this genius at selling. You just have to care about people and have a way of communicating that. And that's what people really want to know. Do you care?
The people that are greedy or have no heart, they will weed themselves out.
Oh, for sure.
You won't have to get rid of them. I mean, they'll just slowly, when your spirit just doesn't align,
Mhm.
when yours and somebody else's spirit are different, and those people will eventually leave and weed themselves out because they don't align. So,
I hope to
um,
repel those kind of people, honestly. Like we don't want that on
yeah,
our team. Like we want to always do the right thing by people. So um, if that's you, then we welcome you. If you want to come and learn about our system, we love that.
for sure. So, we are looking to add some people to our team. Sarah is building a team as well, and she's looking for, like she said, agents that have a heart and want to help each other, help other people. And we're kind of the same way. We're looking for good agents, people that aren't in it for themselves, and we can show you everything that we have built and give you access to all of it. And we would love to do that for you. And if you want to work with Sarah, you can probably reach out to her on Facebook. And if you want to, my office number is 940-539-9497. You can call that number and say, "Hey, I want to work with Sarah Copeland," or "I'd be interested in working with Sarah Copeland," and I will hook you up with her because she is amazing. And if I was going to be under anybody, I would want to be on Sarah's team. So
Thank you, Hunter.
Sarah, I appreciate you and taking your time out of your evening. And I know you said you were fixing to cook dinner, so we will get this wrapped up and thank you.
Thanks, Hunter.